Now, the robes are not that good, alright? Get out of here with this robe. Look, hello. What am I supposed to do with this, huh? To talk about some 11 resistance. Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here, and welcome to that was my way of saying welcome to another video. If you're new to this channel, drop a sub for an AwesomeTheSauce video. What we're gonna talk about in this video is crafting. All right, so crafting has been around in this game for a really long time, but here's the catch. It's been a very long time since crafting has been the preferred method to getting equipment for PvP and even just for the best stats for questing. However, this test realm update has changed everything. Now, what are we talking about? Well, if you're the highest level crafter, all you gotta do is go to my man's Fistium. I don't know. Alright, and then he directs you to go over to my man's over here, right? My main man's. And when you go to my main man's basically is like, oh my god, you should do all this. And after you do all of his quests, he has a recipe shop, right? And the recipe shop involves new weapons. Now, there are very important things about these weapons, but in this video, I'm going to cover this weapon, and also, I'm going to cover some of the new equipment that's available throughout Empyrea for questing, and I'm going to tell you how it might affect how stats work, how PvP is going to work, and there are a few things that are very important. So listen well and listen carefully, listen all close and stuff. Let's get right into it, my dudes. So, I'm on my fire right now, and it's a very, there's a reason I'm on my fire, actually. Fire is by far the most overpowered when it comes to crafting, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean right now. So, there are three things that are really important in this crafting update. There is a wand, there are boots, and there's a hat. So, let's focus on the wand right now. So, we have Ignis's Focus Torch Staff, and basically, there's a big recipe. Now, here's the thing about the recipe. I think it's very difficult, but I don't have a problem with that. I saw a lot of people on Wizard101 Central having a serious problem with that. But let's just go over the reagents, basically. The participation trophy, it's going to take 1,000 arena tickets for every single one. So it's a 5,000 arena ticket thing. It's a lot, but it's also, I'll get to why it actually makes sense. There's a shocked joint you have to get from silver chests. You have to get shining scales from fishing, so fishing is actually more relevant now. And you also have to get other drops throughout Empyrea, but I think those will come more naturally. Now, what do I think about this? A lot of people seem to have a problem with it, and that's because they don't PvP a lot. And I totally get that. You know, I totally get why someone would have a problem with going after all those tickets when they don't PvP, just have the best stats for questing. But this is a very optional thing. Let's not forget that. This is for people who want a challenge. And I don't think the difference between the two wands is actually very minimal. If you notice, there's no change in pierce. There is minimal change in damage. And there's 10 more, whatchamacallit? There's 10 more resist. That's the 10 more critical. I can't speak. Okay, but that's not really that much of a difference. Sure, you want energy and fishing luck. That's really helpful. And there's pip conversion, which is also something I'm going to get to. But the stats aren't that different to the point where it'll make or break a game, in my opinion. However, the reason why I think the participation trophy makes sense to make it so much harder is because in many ways, this wand will change PvP a lot. And we're going to get to that right now. Alright, so let's go over how these new crafted weapons, just the weapons in general, are going to affect PvP. For one, there's a lot more pip conversion. Now, pip conversion would not matter. However, in this update, now we have base pip conversion. If you look at that, I have 219 base to begin with, and I have 125 for my torch staff. That's I don't know how the conversion really works here, but if you get a lot of pip conversion, the percentage is actually something now. And pip conversion could totally sway the match in your favor if you have a lot. Now, there is an arena deck with pip conversion, so I don't have that, obviously, on this character. But there's a way to get even more pip conversion. You could actually jack up this percentage a lot. And in that sense, if you really wanted, it might actually make sense to take the extra pip conversion on this more seriously. But that's only in my opinion for PvP. I don't think it'll really help for questing. So that's one reason why it actually makes a lot of sense why the pip conversion specifically is added onto something with arena tickets as a necessity. This has improvements for PvP players more noticeably than any other type of player. It's simple as that. So that's why I think they did that. Now, there's also the 2 square slots, and now the square slots are really important. We've never had a wand with 2 square slots before. So what can you put in a square slot? Well, you can put flat resist, which a lot of people do, which I don't think is a really good use of it. You can put critical block, but critical block is also not that big of a thing anymore. But there are 2 things that are very, very cool that you could put in square slots, that where basically if you have more and more square slots, the more overpowered that they become. So I'm talking mainly about incoming jewels and stun resist jewels. Now that is super important for PvP. You can have up to 6 square slots now. You can have 1 on your deck, 1 on your ring, 2 on your amulet, and now 2 on your wand. That's 6. So let's say you have 5% incoming jewels or 5% stun resist jewels. That's 30 extra stun resist or 30 more incoming that you never had before. That's why this is going to affect PvP in a very astounding way. And yes, I do agree that it's hard. But I, in my personal opinion, fishing a little bit, farming from silver chests, and doing some grinding out some arena for arena tickets, it's not the worst thing to pay for. Now, I would say that this crafting update hasn't affected PvP that much because it's very minimal. It's just an extra square slot and some pip conversion, if not for what I'm about to show you right now. So there is a crafting vendor in Empyrea, and it's very interesting. Like, he also has, you know, some cool, you know, equipment, like housing equipment, if that's your, you know, if that's your kind of thing, you know, like, you know, explore, my mans. But what I'm here to talk about are the hats and the boots. Now, the robes are not that good, all right? Get out of here with this robe. Look, hello. What am I supposed to do with this, huh? To talk about some 11 resistant. Hello. I'll give them one thing. The health is a lot, all right? There is a lot of health. So this is really good for a very defensive thing, but I'm not going to focus on this just because I personally don't see why anyone would use this. Unless maybe they're going for some kind of angel strat. This is the closest thing that we actually have for something that's good for an angel strat. I can see why a life wizard might use this, and I really hope that it doesn't become a problem. You know, I really do. But what I'm here to talk about are the boots and the hat. Now let's talk about the boots. Now, what I really like about this kind of the craftable boots is that up to now, the best boots right now in max level PvP are crowns. So, like, notice I have the Wisteria Warriors boots. The Gulcher Sword boots are really good. So this seems like a viable alternative to the crowns. And we're gonna compare my fire ones to the other fire ones. Now, if you notice, I lose 3 resist, but I also gain a little bit of health. So there is a small trade-off, but you know, you could argue that actually doesn't affect it that much. I lose very little accuracy. That's something that I can bring back. I actually literally don't lose criticals, so I think they did that intentionally, just to act as a valid comparison. But here's where it gets really interesting. I have 35 fire damage on these boots. Now, that's insane. That's 9 more damage than I ever would have had before, and fire already has a lot of damage. Now, when we're looking at the hat, this one's it's a little less clear cut, and that's because it doesn't give resist. But if you look at the hat gives a ton of damage too. That's 14 more damage than I would have had before. Not to mention, I have accuracy on a hat, which it's not actually common. If you notice, I don't have accuracy on my hat, you know? So it's very interesting that they do that. You could actually balance out some stats this way. There's more health. There's, you know, sure, there's a little bit smaller crit, but the shadow pip chance goes up. There's a lot of interesting reasons as to why you might use this. Now, why am I showing everyone this? It's not just because I think crafting is cool, but I think crafting is the best alternative to crown stuff. And I really like what King's Isle is doing. It is challenging, but if you do not want to spend crowns, you can do tourneys for gold. Like, that's not that bad, you know? And you can definitely get all of this stuff by just questing, you know? All of this is not hard to get. You know, all of this is, like, actually very simple to get. If you're wondering what this new reagent is, you just pick it up off the ground, like a comet tail or a stone block or something. So in many ways, this is going to change the game for the better, I think. Sure, there are some discrepancies in my opinion. For example, like ice has 8 resist, which is a ton for an equipment, a piece of equipment that also gives 29 damage. Like, that's a ton for ice. It really is. Like, and they also get a lot more health. So I think in some ways they are unbalanced. However, let's focus on what's really happening over here. There are a lot of viable alternatives. I like, this isn't crowns worthy. I could farm for my robe, and then the boots, now there's a crowns alternative, to a non-crowns alternative to this and this. I don't have to use either of these now, you know? There's also a new hat that I could use if I don't want to resist. The wand doesn't have to be crowns related at all. The theme and ring have never been crowns related. The amulet doesn't really have to be crowns related at all if you just go for the Morgantz one or the Rasputin one or maybe the Shane Von Shane amulet. You know, it's becoming closer and closer to the point where there is fewer crowns necessary for combat, and I think that's a very, very important change. Now, I totally do understand. I want to debate in the comments. Do you guys think that arena ticket only reagents or fishing only reagents are the way to go, or do you think that it's just too much of a challenge for something that, you know, maybe the casual player will be turned off to? What I think is that it's very good when a game has really good end game content. I want something to work on between updates, and I feel like if I have 7 wizards, it's definitely going to be very, very hard to do all of the crafting, especially for the wands, in a small period of time, you know? So it's going to be very, very interesting. I definitely see myself grinding for reagents on streams in the future. I hope you guys are hyped for that. But tell me what you guys think, all right? Tell me what you guys think. I want this video to blow up with comments. Talk with you guys. Talk about what you guys think. I care about what you guys think. All right, drop a comment on your opinion on this topic. And if someone hasn't told you're awesome today, they doing something wrong, man. So stay awesome, bruh. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah.